Hi everyone. Now we are going to see about distributed database. Distributed database logically internal collection of shared data along with description of data physically distributed over a computer network. What is distributed database? Distributed database is a collection of multiple logically irrelevant database distributed over the computer network. A distributed management system is software that manages the DDB and provides an access mechanism that makes this distribution transparent to the users. Computer networks. A DDBMS mainly classified into types: homogeneous distributed database management system, heterogeneous distributed management system. Characteristics: all sites are interconnected. Fragments can be replicant. Logically related shared data can be collected. Data at each and every site is controlled by DBMS. Each distributed database management system takes part in at least one global application. Functionally, now we are going to say about functionality. Security, keeping track of data, applicant data management, system catalog management, distributed transaction management, distributed database recovery. Homogeneous DDBMS. In homogeneous distributed database, all sites have identical softwares, are aware of each other, and agree to cooperate in processing and user requests. And the homogeneous system is much easier to design and manage. The operating system used at each location must be same or applicable. The database application used at each location must be same. Heterogeneous DBMS. In heterogeneous distributed database, different sites may be different schema on software. In heterogeneous system, different nodes may be different hardware and software, and data structure at various nodes or location are also implementable. Different computers and operating systems, database applications, or data models may be used at each of the locations. On heterogeneous system, transactions are required to allow communicating between different sites. The heterogeneous system is often not technically or economically feasible. In this system, a user at one location may be able to read but not update the data at another location. Advantages: less danger of single point failure. When one of the computer fails, the workload is picked up by another workstation. Data are also distributed at multiple sites. The end user is able to access any available copy of the data, and the end user request is processed by any processor at the data location. Advantages of content: improved communications because local sites are smaller and located closer to customer. Reduce operating costs. It is more cost efficient to add a workstation to the network than to update a mainframe system. Faster data access. Faster data processing. A distributed database system spread out the system workloaded by processing data. Disadvantages: complexity of management and control. Applications must recognize data location, and they must be able to stitch together data from various sites and securities. Disadvantages of content: increased storage and infrastructure requirement. Multiple copies of data has to be at different sites. Thus, an additional disk storage space will be required. The probability of security lapse increase when data are located at multiple sites. Data fragmentation. Fragmentation is a process of division or the mapping of the table based on the columns and rows data into smallest unit of data. Data that has broken down is still possible to be combined again with the intention to complete the data collection using fragment. Fragment is the server feature that allows you to control whether data is stored at the table level. Fragmentation enables you to define group of rows or identity keys within a table. Replication. Replication is that we store several copies of relation or relation fragment. An entire relation can be replicated at one or more sites. Similarly, one or more fragments of the relation can be replicable at other sites. For example, if we relation our fragment into R1, R2 and R3, there might be just one copy of R1, whereas R2 is replicate at two other sites, and R3 is replicated at all sites. Two-fold replication. The motivation for replication is twofold. Increase availability of data if sites that contains a replicable goes down when we can find the same data at other sites. Similarly, if local copies of remote relation available whereas less vulnerable to failure of communication links, faster inquiry evaluation queries can be executed faster by using a local copy of relation instead of doing to remote sites. Distributed transaction in a distributed DBMS gives transaction is submitted at someone site, but it can access data at other sites as well. When a transaction is submitted at some site, the transaction manager of the site breaks it up into a collection of one or more subtractions that execute at different sites, submit them to transaction manager at the other sites, and coordinates their activity. Distribute control. How can logs for object source across several sites be managed? Distributed recovery. Transaction automatically must be ensured when a transaction commit all its actions across all the sites at which its extent must proceed. Similarly, when a transaction aborts, none of its action must be allowed to proceed. Distributed recovery of control. In choice of technical determines which objects are to be locked when locks are obtained and released is determined by a conquery control protocol. Now we now consider how lock and unlock requests are implemented in distributed environment. Lock management can be distributed across site in many ways. Centralized. A single site is in charge of handling lock and unlock requests for all objects. Primary copy. One copy of each other object is designed and primary copy. All requests to lock or unlock copy of this object are handled by lock management at the site where the primary copy is stored, regardless of where the copy itself stored. Fully distributed. Requested to lock or unlock a copy of an object stored at the site are handled by logging manager at the site where the copy is stored. Distributed recovery. Recovery in a distributed DBMS is more complicated than it is centralized DBMS for the following reason. New kinds of failure can arise: failure of communication links and failure of remote sites which subtraction is executed. Either all subtraction of given transaction must committed or none must committed. This property must be guaranteed deposited at any combination of site and link failure. This guarantee is achieved use a committing protocol. Concept of a lock is used when multiple users need to access a database currently. This prevents data from being corrupted and invalidate when multiple users try to write to the database. Any single user can only modify those database records, that is, items in the database, to which they can apply a lock that gives them exclusive access to record until the lock is released. Locking not only provides executive right but also prevent or control reading of unfinished modification. Thank you.